Good evening, everybody. Respected director, deans, the respective heads of Department of Planning, faculty members, my fellow batchmates, and all dear students. I am Ankita from B Plan 4th year. We, being the students of planning and architecture, are very well aware of the importance of AI and automation in our respective fields, performing tasks such as data analysis, predictive modeling, smart infrastructure, community engagement, risk management, whatnot. AI has become increasingly indispensable in our daily lives, revolutionizing various aspects of society. This evening, I would like to welcome you all to the invited talk on role of AI and computing to architects and build business organized by the Design and Innovation Center of our college. Today, we are honored to have with us an speaker, Professor Dr. Dhiren Patel, who currently serves as the Professor of Computer Science and Engineering Department at NIT Surat, Gujarat. So I would kindly request Professor Dr. Vijayalakshmi Iyer to formally invite and introduce our institute and extend a warm welcome to our distinguished.
Good afternoon, everybody. On behalf of the director, is not here on an official duty, but director Dr. Ramesh Kondaji, and as the coordinator of the design innovations of S. I extend my hearty welcome to Dr. Dhiren. Dr. Dhiren, computer science. To give a heads up about our institution, SPAV is an institute of national importance under the Ministry of Education and is one amongst the three offering excellence in teaching architecture and planning. At SPAV, we have currently 8 postgraduate programs and 2 undergraduate programs. In the ensuing year, we are planning to have one additional PG program too, which is MDes. So we have a variety and a range of students who learn various specialization in architecture and planning. At undergraduate level, we have the B Plan and BR, and at postgraduate level and PhD, since we have 8 postgraduate programs, in a sense, it becomes important that we teach our students and delve into multidisciplinary aspects. Also, NEP supports or NEP encourages interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary research, and in that context, I am extremely grateful that Dr. Dhiren has come here today to share his knowledge about AI. I would not want to talk much about AI, though we all sort of know and do not know. So we are in that at the crossroads of understanding what AI can do, because we are bombarded with so much information from vested interests. Some people say that it can never overtake human intelligence, and some people whom we look up to, so I don't want to name them, look up to say that AI is going to gobble up humanity in future and human beings are going to be useless, and almost to that. So let us see another perspective and how AI can be used in architecture and planning. My heartiest welcome to you, sir. Thank you for accepting our invite.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I would like to request you to felicitate our speaker. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Now I kindly request Assistant Professor Siddhesh Mundle to introduce our speaker, Professor Dr. Dhiren Patel, to the audience.
Very good evening to. It is my privilege to introduce our esteemed speaker, Dr. Dhiren Patel, currently serves as Professor of Computer Science Engineering at NIT Surat, Gujarat. Dr. Patel brings him with him a wealth of experience and expertise in various domains in technology and academia. He is currently Professor of Computer Science and Engineering at NIT Surat, Gujarat. He served as the director of VJTI Mumbai during 2017 to 2022, a prestigious government institute established in 1887, which has played a very vital role in setting up the IITs during 1955 to 1960, where he successfully led key initiatives to improve teaching learning, research innovation ecosystem for the global good taking technology to society, especially supporting the sustainable development goals and related opportunities. He has wide range of research interest and expertise which include explainable artificial intelligence, XAI, blockchain technology, cyber security, and trust management, IoT, sustainable technologies, renewable energy, and energy storage systems. Professor Patel has active academic and research associations with IIT Madras, IIT Bombay, City University London, UK, SMU Dallas, USA, IMT Atlantic, France, University of Padova, Italy, University of Oslo, Norway, Meiji University, Japan, HAW Hamburg, Germany, and many more. He has played an instrumental role in designing nationwide centralized engineering admission systems in India, including AIEEE, TCB, and JUSA, and national capacity building in cyber security, AI, and blockchain technology. Professor Patel is an alumnus of IIT Kanpur and served as a strategic advisor to UPL Limited. His scholarly contributions are widely recognized with numerous research publications showcasing his expertise in various fields. With this, we welcome Professor Dr. Dhiren Patel sir to share his knowledge with the talk today on role of AI and computing to architects and build businesses. We welcome you, sir.
Hello, good afternoon. Very tricky. Likewise, all try to architect planning. Likewise, I am trying to. I am not a. I architect planners, the transform world. Technology is approaching everywhere. The most affected is we computer scientists. ChatGPT, uh, ChatGPT, uh, Google Bard and Google now Gemini. Bard was very good. Commented Gemini, all bad things. Now they had uh, uh, is raising probably. So it's really dangerous. Now I am a computer scientist. Try to an architect or architect structure. Of course, off late I started working for some. Uh, last to last week I was at IIT Madras, just checking their last week a new some of the things before they so I went there and checked whether the things are in place. And able to demonstrate green hydrogen microgrid functional, the fuel cell, hydrogen fuel cell, public. Also, we had at IIT Madras, my contribution nothing much, but except before they push external guy, I looked at it. Are there any that are missed out? Found something. For example, there was safety because they wanted to stop things, wanted to meet the deadlines. Like people want to programming also, we want to make functional, forgetting that who is going to use. We only know when we run the program and it was a blank screen. We only know that I have to input one number that it can calculate temperature. But other user places the button and is blank. He doesn't know anything. Same thing. Those chemistry and thermo, hydraulic, and all those people have put up that effort. I went there and I said, "Oh, what kind of safety?" I said, "This carbonization unit, and currently you are demonstrating the carbon tanks, CO2 tank. Now, the container, there is a leakage. It will, when safe, jeopardized, and so the equipment for green hydrogen. So, where are the sensors sense those levels so that can give you on dashboard? Green hydrogen project have done that. That somebody, that PhD scholar was showing on cell phone that this is how the readings are and all those things are going on. But at decarbonization, not yet reached. The result, immediately got shocked. Somebody is sitting there and demonstrating. People are coming. Something happened. And we all know that, if you have seen that Chernobyl, how do you all dosing important, can detect the nuclear radiation. Otherwise, you really don't know that it is good. So all those things are important. Let me now try to put a shoe in your feet, or rather my feet in your shoe, and it may go well, it may not go well, but take it easy. So the next slide, but has not yet come there. Why? That's the technology problem. No. Are going their viewer, and it is not. So this problem can happen because long wire. So it sends going there. I don't know what it is, and it is not able to move along a wire, and it came. So now a disclaimer, because whatever I am going to, I have deep dived into the field, read lots of paper, talked to many people, have good experience. Once again, it's all subjective. Don't blindly follow it. Looks good, ugly, bad, it's very nice. It's all subjective opinion, and that is, this side is applicable to every one of you, not only me. Whenever you see something and try to adapt it, forgetting that the guy or the lady has the opinion is coming from a different cultural background, different geographical area, and as a result many things are influencing them. So ChatGPT, when we talk about, or OpenAI or this Google Bard or whatever it is, they are highly biased. Let me tell you I will talk good about AI. At the same time, I will talk bad about AI because at the end of the day, we want to prove that we are better than AI. So I am from computer science, but I know that we are much better than AI and we remember that always. I'll give you a simple example of how AI has done not well and was really difficult in UK. Recently was analyzed and published that during the second wave of COVID has happened in February or March 2021. First wave was April 2020. There was a big shortage of oxygen all over India, for that matter across the world. India, whoever has big money, they able to get oxygen because for democracy. But in UK, there is a good democracy. Somebody go to hospital and say that I need oxygen, first measure their oxygen level. Oximeter says that your oxygen level is 97%, don't require. And if oximeter says that your oxygen percent require oxygen, get in hospital. Now, came out that because of the faulty oximeter, was AI powered, any patient died, colored patient. Why? Because the oximeter is a non-penetrating kind of device. It's light and it reads something. Okay, no injection, no blood, nothing. So it works on some pattern recognition, frequency measure, light reflection, so on and so forth. It has been developed by Cambridge scientists. However, what they have done? They have used the data of top British where white people were at. So, needless to say that the oximeter had a flavor of white people data set. Now, it was giving very accurate reading for white people. But when the colored people are going, actually was splitting the oximeter reading. Got it? This is a bias system, and this is how whenever, so that's where we are telling that don't blindly follow what AI says, and that's where something called explainable AI is coming up. We have right to ask the question, AI system, how did you arrive onto this? How did you come to this conclusion? And until unless you get satisfied, okay, how then AI could say that, okay, I have used this data set, I have used this algorithm, I have done this, I have done that, and this is how I arrived. And for that matter, now AI Act has come just day before yesterday. European Parliament has passed that, and that is going to be picked. In fact, OpenAI, ChatGPT, as well as Google Gemini, they both have made a statement that the questions thrown to those two chatbots about politicians and elections cannot be answered. They have now hard configured their chatbots. Why? Because first in India there was a complaint last week that Google Gemini has been asked about Indian, wrong interpretation. The answer is correct. Times don't like it, that means it is wrong. That's where the subjective things come into play. So then they have to go and get backstage. Then they say that, okay, let us hardwire our ChatGPT. No, I don't know. Fine. Similarly, they said that if there is a deep fake images. So Sachin Tendulkar, something happened in February, isn't it? Somebody has created morph image and then spoke which not. Really don't know whether he did not or he. But that case has come up. So now, you might have seen the movie MI series, all those, where you see that how the 3D pictures can be used and the face can be morphed and all those things. Voice can be analyze. So now ChatGPT that any search for Donald Trump, Narendra Modi, Joe Biden, it would not help, would not generate any image out of that, and as a result, this is how they are now trying to. This is not fixed hardwiring. So it now look at and has come pertaining to size to answer. This is about technology. So this disclaimer is very important. Geographical bias, education exposure bias, environmental and climate bias, seasonal bias, neighborhood bias, good bad experience bias. For example, person for Gaza or Pakistan or Afghanistan, you ask them question, how is world? For that matter, I recall one small example. We had one prime minister called Murad for 2 years or so, and then this guy went to convocation of Indians in Calcutta and spoke nicely. Prime Minister, he must be actually away from where I born. Of course, we never say that. Now somebody institute for the after the not wait for dinner for some professor. What do you feel about statistics? I mean, it's a wonderful thing that wonderful. My left foot higher, my right foot ice. I feel good. Got it. Both foot are not feeling well. Statistics presenting of that. And that was a nice guys who have asked him that. And that's where what this AI and what all those things get the data. And then we program, put our own bias. How do we look at data and how do we produce the result? And it is very tricky. So if Google and OpenAI guys are listening to my lecture, that I am, badly speaking about those things. But that's how I have to sensitize people that don't blindly follow those things. Now we get into disclaimer is done. Now it is your area. Of course, you know this, but then I thought that let me also dive into that and give some little knowledge. The United Nations that the world population will 7.2 by 2100 will inevitably lead to need for more houses, public space, more efficient infrastructure. That means to have good careers. When COVID has taught us what is essential, what is not, like education from home as well. However, the food in your hand, per house to live. So, fine, this trend accompanied by rapid worldwide urbanization push architects, urban planners and engineers to develop solutions that accommodate this. How do we enhance quality of life for the city by providing equal access, best quality physical infrastructure, social infrastructure and mobility through leveraging the of the art technology? Now, we are going to discuss those things. Construction is an information intensive, but I picked up from somewhere, I liked it, I picked it. Digital transformation in the sector is accelerating. It's already there. The construction industries are entering a period of major disruption caused by new technologies. Of course, now these technologies are old. I read it from somebody's paper, they said technology, I put it like that. Because new is also subjective. Then you know that. For old. So AI, blockchain, IoT. We explore the implications of blockchain and other emerging technologies in environment. Look at trust, privacy, collaboration, smart contracts, so on and so forth, without getting in complicated mathematics. So, the slides are not moving fast. how it is happening, because I did not. Now you can see something of your thing and something of my thing. You can see blockchain, your pictorial representation, IoT, coin also. Yeah, now it is fast. So how, now we are living in a connected world, and this connected world is good, also bad, because now everybody knows what you are doing, and you also know what they are doing. Anytime we download something and we feel that we got the lots of information, but when you download the connection, downloaded from where the downloading is happening, that site would, the malware or malicious software, your address database, your account details, your password detail, and all those things. What the cyber security is about, and you aware, because tools are there, but you don't know how to use it. Aware. Drones is, I am sure you have started using for photogrammetric metrology, aerial photography, close range grammetry, and UAV imagery. And I was evaluating a thesis at IIT Bombay, computer science department. That guy has done a work on how to use drone large scale of photographic thing. For example, dam. Now dam cannot be photographed by a photographer. So that was his about. Okay, the fleet of drone, how they are going, but then again, when you mix this image, they are not, though they are identical drone, but they are not identical. They are also subjective. One is Chinese drone, one is drone, Russian drone, differently. Even if they are all from China, one is say 50 days old and another is 1 day old, they both have to make, all things are coming up. But trying to some methodology by removing those error, correct things, and showcasing that at certain locations where photograph cannot go, devices can go and do the job for you. Those you know that this is Singapore. Now I am trying to put aside, because I came to Vijayawada. I did not see anything iconic. Now this is not iconic. SPA, there are only 3 in the country. Good. So SPA building is iconic. Vijayawada. Yeah, that is another question I wanted to ask. That 3 SPAs, they have the same vision, mission statement. Why their buildings are different? Their education, for that matter, there are top universities in the world. They also have the same vision and mission. With excellent graduates. Still they have different. Why? Because of you guys. Architect. They always try to give something different than others. Decide on that. So this we doing. Yeah, it is. I could able to integrate it in PowerPoint, so I thought that let me slide come down. Yeah. Slide talks about smart mobility. Now people talk about smart city. And mobility is mobility. Call it as urban mobility, rural mobility, town mobility, whatever it is. When town planning word, I really am trying to understand what is town, what is the Oxford meaning of town, not city. Why we do not use a word called urban planning infrastructure or planning or something. Anyway, outsiders. Still you have a town planning own word. Then again, I ask this kind of question of town. And have we moved beyond town? Then why don't we just change it or modify it? Anyway, so mobility and smart mobility. Now, why do we call it smart mobility? Because now we see that the vehicles are computers. Vehicle are a system with the connectivity, they are connected. Now, the idea is, even for that matter, how do you see yourself very accurately about traffic and all those things? Cell phone. Because that you are seeing it, but Google is a different perspective. You are a contributor to presenting the map. It is a crowdsourced data which has been caught up because you are using Google map or here map or whatever it is. They exactly know where you are, and similarly they exactly know how many people are in your area, how they are moving, and how fast they are moving, and they are able to detect. They have not put the satellite and they are doing imaginary, okay, this is traffic jam. No, just look at that. You are moving on highway very fast and you are stuck up somewhere. So it starts with AI. Have this guy parked itself and gone for a lunch or a washroom break? Then this traffic jam. Then they will try to give the color blue and green. So smart mobility is about pulse and their data to provide a very informed decisions about how they are moving and whether they are getting or everything. So you capture data and then analyze that data and send back the data to alert them. For instance, 5 years back, somebody from University of San Diego to gave a talk that how he was a director of Vision Lab. Said that they are working on car manufacturing to ensure that the accident resulted from the app or that last week, founder Avatar Saini, top guy, very rich guy, Navi Mumbai, was doing a cycling at 5:30. Taxi wala ne uda diya. He died. This happened. I brought computer vision. Okay, so how do we the accident? So these guys were experimenting at that point of time. They have put a camera over dashboard. So just looking at your eyeball movement. Now this eyeball movement and the blinking, and immediately they understand that if it goes for 2 seconds, guy is sleeping. Now it has detected sleeping. What? You have to wake him up. They have put vibrator, vibrates. It is not happening because that guy is sleeping more. That how child sleeps more when you give him more vibration, isn't it? So these guys have created a pin puncture. So it gives it. He wakes up. I mean, this is how technology is to be, invented and utilized. Of course, this technology has been working well to avoid those events which are happening due to. But it has a cost involved. Unfortunately, all the Uber and Ola and all other app taxis that we get in, they are not Mercedes Benz or Camry or other things, which is a norm in Europe. Paris, you go and you hire a taxi, you get a latest Mercedes. Yeah, get what? Maruti Alto, Nano, no, not Nano, but WagonR and all those stuff. So of course, we always say that affordability is the big issue, but it's not affordability. It's cutting cost to making more profit, at the expense of human. Now, here we are trying to use the capability of the vehicle to support sensing, communication, computing, storage, and intelligence for CD model. I'm just giving the cue, very abstract view. Now, this is what I picked up. I charge, therefore I drive. Now people talk about electric. Is this the new paradigm? Now, I did a little survey in India that who is doing what. I found that in Delhi there are 1737 electric charging stations. Bangalore there are 795, Mumbai 441, Pune 424, and then there are for more than 30 car brand. And another important thing is, if you have a Tata car, you have to go to Tata charging station. I mean, you have to go to different petrol pump for car. No, why in electric charging you? So we have to wake up. At global top, Los Angeles. I mean, they have plenty of charging stations, and they are universal charging. Come with whatever car, and need fast charger, you bring your plug. There is a connector goes in. Okay? Yeah. So you guys have to look into all those things. And then government is very positive. I salute our Minister Gadkari ji, trying to do lots of roads, and I mean I haven't seen any others regime that so many roads and bridges and infrastructure projects have come up like. They, you just give a local permission and I built highway, road, whatever you want. You can go. Now, there is, you can pay as you go or sign up with an EVO subscription plan to unlock discounted charging rate. So now we are going to economy. This is also a business. Set up a charging station where anybody's car can come and get charged. Then it also said that the business is slack during particular hours, you get discounted charging. Then what happens? 90, and we had this telephones, no mobile. After 9 p.m., the rate was getting half or 1/4, and then there was a long queue. So the purpose of providing services at lower cost has gone, because that after 9 o'clock there is no offer the services at lower cost. People are waiting for 9 o'clock. They queue up to take advantage of the lower cost, and the higher cost nothing. So all those things could get into whenever you do town planning. Now we are talking about road or a lane on which you drive and your car get charged. Wonderful happening, and not only the photograph. This is happening in Detroit. There is a video. Look at the
Michigan Central are inductive charging cords that can charge electric vehicles, making this the first wireless charging road in the nation.
charge. These are the wonderful thing, and these things would come currently costly. Have a vision that when we are planning a, we are building a new road, when you are developing a new area. Now the areas are earmarked. These are medical zone, this is the mall zone, this is the gaming zone, this is something education, and accordingly plan those infrastructures. Who can afford, who cannot afford. In India, government can afford everything because they are the only people who have money.
Michigan Central are in.
Next slide. Yeah, this is also video. Now you see Saudi Arabia. They are trying to build something called NEOM project, the green and renewable energy project, where they are, trying to set up power plant, solar power plant. I mean, hydrogen, wind plant. So what do we mean by green hydrogen? How does hydrogen get color? Hydrogen is colorless. We call it green hydrogen, blue hydrogen, brown hydrogen. Simple. When you generate hydrogen, how hydrogen is generated? You do photosynthesis, provide electricity to water, and then hydrogen and oxygen separated. And then you store that hydrogen. Now if you use electricity fossil fuel based, then it is not green. But if you use electricity which is renewable, solar, wind, then that hydrogen is. So this is actual coming up. The world's largest carbon free hydrogen plant. This is I picked up from, this is Thailand, they have a floating solar plant at the dam site. Not yet started in India, all those. And they have reason to do that. They say that somebody always argue that it would harm the ecosystem, underwater life and all those things. They have reason. And they say that installing floating solar panels on the water surface, it does not affect the agriculture area, the community's boat route and the daily life activity of the local, not disturbing any. So when we do anything, these are the basic. I think in the first lecture school just are teaching that you should ask this question. We are planning something from where the water is coming, our use. And what is the quality of water? Have any such water plants with us? Then where is the waste go? Where are the renewable energy sources? Now sustainability is bringing them. Economic development activity comes from where? Affordable housing. And then there are signage and decorative island and etc. So we start with the necessary: home, water, natural light, electricity, hotels, joint, markets, supply chain. Then we add up short, long haul transportation, the rail, road, air, waterways, airports, ports, railway station, bus station. Now I am seeing that bus stations are appearing. They are still there, but they are moving and sort of disappearing. Then there are metro, bus rapid transit system, ring road, main road. Every city there is MG road. Know that. And SV road. Sector road, walkways, bicycle paths, street road, one-ways, parking. I think these are your basic input when you do some planning. And then water distribution, sewage, waste management, electricity, road, fire safety, healthcare, air quality, surveillance, safe parks, gardens, financial center, food services, help center, fuel station, charging roads that I have shown you. And then there are iconic structure, statues, towers and all those things. Paris, Eiffel Tower. London, you say Clock Tower. Singapore, you see, and or now this. Now, yeah, Delhi, you see Lal Killa. Why you see Gate of India? What is for get something? Now, when the new institutes are coming up, I saw that the new institutes, they start with one iconic place. It should always appear in their brochure first. IIT Gandhinagar is a good example. They created one clock tower and it works there. So, now role and penetration of AI and computing. So, we know that they can do very rapidly mundane task. And they can do the quick fixing like building construction, regulatory compliances, safety, disaster management, comfort. Now you have to give those jobs to AI. Those agents are available, AI agents in a software. What your job is, you have to just talk to client, state their basic needs rather than giving your perspective that you like this. No, let hear the client. Says that I want in this kind of thing, and let AI or your all suite of Autodesk, Revit and what all, okay, let them create a basic model, prompting you at ChatGPT. I need 1,000 square foot house, bedroom, one big hall, one kitchen, 3 washrooms, and it create a model, and then ask client which says that none of that. Generate again, and likewise the task can be done. A standard model, my observation, you go to the Western countries like London or Washington DC or Castle Rock in US, that all houses are of same type. They have similar roof, they have similar size backyard, there is a similar parking slot, there is a drawing room at one place, kitchen at one place, washroom at another place, a bedroom at another place. Why? Because that's a very proper planning. But then that planning has killed creativity of architect, because it's all everything same, factory setting. but that has advantage of standing or correcting the fix. Water problem is there, if fire is there, they exactly know that what they have. Look at the Cochin Athirapalli road which I travelled in January last week. Across this 50-kilometer road, I saw big bungalows. They have changed everything. Even at last the roof color is different. Somebody has 6 rooms on a bungalow. Other guy has 9. Guy has 4, 5. Everything distinctive. Banjara Hills you go. Again, there is a statement. Again, the bungalows are very different. Of course, you guys have played a big role there. And then there are iconic Antilia, palaces, universities and institutions of the world. Everybody is coming up differently. However, their purpose and mission provide affordable, good, comfortable, livable place. So optimizing design by small implements to adapt to individual design style and workflow. We call this as a narrow AI. Because broadly it has given something, now you are from AI to AI. That means you get something from AI and then you teach AI. Now, no, I don't want this. You get, and this is how you can get anything that is taking a lot of time. Then is that how do you charge? Because you are going to complete it very fast. Client would not doing it. That is your problem. Smart cities coming up with the whole new set of template. Inclusive city. Now they say why one has to travel long from workplace home, vice versa. I like the system best about school. So that your kids should not travel more than 2 miles. Good schools are bringing the real estate skyrocketing. Because people would this movie there are different the medium. But yes, if you want to put your word in good school, you have to stay near that school. It is directly, and some schools are very good. So all rich people will try to get their house there so that they can get their kids admission. And as a result, the real estate, it is driving real. But the philosophy is very simple. Your kids not have to avail. All safety and so many issues are involved. Inclusive city. So one is the transportation. Second is get everything. Now that bringing sustainability and carbon eco. Now average American household at their dining table, the items travels on an average 50. Why? Imported it from China. Want avocado, they want to eat. So they have money. However, they are all credit card. They don't are world's strongest. So they afford the best of the thing. Travels. Now, when it travels, actually affect the carbon footprint. As to though you afford it by money, but it is traveling to your place and it is hurting the environment. That is where now we have to see that can we produce locally and consume locally. The Europe has woken up now because of Ukraine war. They could not able to even put up their homes, and they could not have could not get the wheats from Ukraine. Now the British Agriculture Department has gone into very high priority mode. Can we grow what we have been importing? Altogether a new dimension. Learning from other architect preference, taking creativity to height. This statement is very simple, but it is very complicated. Because two architects are one another friends, but they never reveal that what they are going to the client. Because again, distinctive what we expect rather than the other thing. Now I'll come to that can we have a technology which can still bring the best of these two architects and provide you the better model client, respecting all the privacy and IPR. Smart city, you can see that sensing is done by Internet of Things and connectivity, computing, visualization, surveillance, air quality index, analytics, AI, blockchain, closed loop, all those things we are doing to ensure that the quality of life gets improved. Time. So IoT is all about sensors, and those sensors can measure the local data. That data has to travel to aggregator, and then they use data, and then they can by doing analytics can give you a better informed decision. Can be used in many further applications. For example, during pandemic, they immediately able to figure out that why in particular place something is happening because of this. So there are challenges, infrastructure challenges, data security of the very important challenge. These devices are not strong, not secure. So if somebody can misconfigure them or somebody can hijack their data, then they are wrong data and lead to some disaster. Germany, one patient, industrialist, ambulance has picked up him the accident and it's supposed to go to the hospital. Green corridor is created. Now it was following, the ambulance driver was following the corridor which has been created for him. However, because of the manipulated data, could not take that patient in time to hospital. I don't know. That's the problem with technology. How do we fix? Very important. So what I say that don't blindly trust those technology assistant, though we create it. But I tell you, let me give you one experience. I had been to, when I was in Mumbai, my wife said that, daughter, today we want to have Sizzler. There was one famous joint called Kobe Sizzler. So I did Uber and we went there. Uber dropped us at a place. However, there was no Kobe Sizzler. So I went in lane, that lane was not there. But in front there was Yoko Sizzler. Eventually, but we were very determined. Figured out that it was 800 meters away from that place and we walked to that place. But otherwise, other guy would have gone to Yoko Sizzler. So I immediately called the Nate Geo Vice President of Google, my friend, that look, this place is misplaced. And because Uber used the Google data, Uber has also took us at the wrong place. Say that you generate a complaint and I generate a ticket and we solve it. Then he put it some manual correction and they found out that this was influence or bias decision. Now how come this become Yoko Sizzler, Kobe Sizzler? Yoko Sizzler friends, or they have put some money, they have created some opinion, they have created a pin that this is Kobe Sizzler. Because this is the crowdsourced data and that crowd can be influenced, so the reputation scoring has gone in, was completely biased. The result has created a problem. So now let me fast forward because people are leaving. Him you know, so I don't want to I don't want to discuss all those things, but let me put something interesting, which may be interesting to not be interesting. I'll discuss about blockchain little later, and this is important. Construction blockchain. They have an office in Third London, but their members found a so but membership can be bought, and then you can get lots of templates. Wherein the blockchain, how blockchain and the technology can take the construction business to the next. One of the things, crowd-funded projects, smart contract, decentralized autonomous so far we had a notion of the real estate. Then Mumbai, small flat costs 3 crore rupees. And to afford that flat is really. I see most of the houses are empty, but the price. Now, an ordinary person like you and me, I mean you, but if you have to buy this flat, you have to wait too long. Time you can get old also. So, this smart contract, crowdfunding allow tokenization of real estate. What do I mean? Suppose 2 crore flat can be divided into 20 token, 10 lakhs each. And then you say that whoever wants to have a partnership here can come. Now, maybe 20 people or maybe 5 people put their money, get that token and invest into the otherwise not affordable this real estate. And then later on they can rent it out and get based on their stake and get the money back on investment. They call it as a I contract or smart contract. And this able using blockchain technology. Now this also you know, so I just listed out, but I think you know better than me. Climate conditioning is not good because this is a makeshift. Yeah, creating AI. Now this is important. Now this kind of buildings are coming up, and I don't know when you are going up. So this is where the IoT and AI and computing can ensure the satisfaction level and comfort level to the greater height. Because in many places, some person wants a bright light, some person wants a not bright light, some person wants very cool air, some person wants little warmer air. How do you satisfy them? And then you work on template, and eventually you end up with lots of energy consumption. Now, AI and sensing technology would sense and then set the air vent, air conditioning on off, or the light vent, natural light vent, and all those things to the personalized level, thereby saving at least 30-40% of the energy cost. This is also important. Smart construction site. I cite this example. I liked it. I don't know, have you come across this or not? This is a grid map with terrain of a real construction site. There are green, orange, and red grid. So it is divided into small grid boxes, and it demonstrates easy, normal, and difficult to pass terrain. Because you are constructing, now you have to create the pathway, how the material will go, how the vehicle will go, how the crane will be set up, and all. And for that, how AI is helping that. So there is a path planning algorithm. Decide that material has to go here, crane has to go here. You have all those things in mind. Now you feed it, and then you see here all clearance is available. Manually is very difficult to do, and it any errors. Now you have very clear idea a priori, and you can plan. Then you can schedule the vehicle movement so that nobody or waste their time. One example. Hospital, I like this slide. Hospitals are considered as highly complex critical infrastructure building due to their size and security. This is the building which is most used because it is 24/7, and it requires altogether a very different perspective while planning, designing that. Digital twin, actually AutoCAD is sort of digital twin where you get all the plans and maps and visualization before the actual things are built. But in our way of looking at it is like, say for example, thermal power plant, say 500 megawatt thermal power plant. How can I create a computing model for that? Digital twin is about I create all the relays and all the electronic equipment equipment that controls those signals. However, I am not putting my turbines and all those things. I have a digital setup, and the digital setup get the same data that that plant is getting, and thereby I can mimic the behavior, potential maintenance schedule, potential demand supply mechanism, and all those stuff. It is helping a lot. AC/DC and hybrid AC in building. Now this is happening. Lighting. Okay, let me narrate my experience. As a VJTI director, we wanted to build a classroom complex. The architect came up with the design, and I immediately figured out I has put, there are so many big building and he has put so many vent. I said, this vent is for what? These are cable vent. I said, for what? Telephones. Who on earth are using a telephone? They all use cell phone. And just removing that item would save us our 1 crore or more than 1 crore. Because why they have put it in place? Because he has the template from somewhere. When you design office building, these are the norms. You have to put this cable, that cable, this cable, that cable. But when the technology is moving forward, don't require that. So AC distribution, lights, air conditioning, elevators, water pump, home appliances, heater, and then DC phones, laptops, LED lighting, home appliances. Now all those things are available. Have a different socket. Even I saw in your guest house a socket where I had to force my electric could have been avoided by just purchasing a universal socket where any plug can. Okay. It's a very small thing, but you have to think about it. Now, have you seen this? I liked it. This is how the road is constructed. Masonry robot has started, very quickly they can set up. Smart structural health monitoring. You must be doing that. If you have not done it, you are going to look into it. So, I am taking up one example. This is the bridge. And this bridge is very important. Where is that? Poland. Kuro over Donetsk. The span length of 100 plus 200 plus 200 plus 100 meter. And this is how they have, this is one example where how technology can, play a role setting up, maintenance, life enhancement, all those stuff. Had it been done, couple of cases, yeah, then those disaster would have one happen in Diwali time. One, Kerala State Bridge, it has gone into frequency and then it has killed so many people. So there are LV, there are accelerator, there are leak leveling sensor, all those things right into your controlling station, and you could be able to do even weather monitoring and structural health monitoring system. So technology, and now those dashboards are coming up. Now dashboards are going further with 3D technology, with augmented reality and virtual reality. You can see now in fact the camera and signals are also available, but still you can see external thing. External thing you have to get from those sensors. This is very important. Cash flow. Any building project, the cash flow is very important. In fact, the name contractor, first time I heard, 5-6-year-old, the picture of the building contractor came in. A contractor could be mass contractor, transport contractor, but contractor, those who build the building. And if we look at the job of contractor or builder, they integrate. If they work with so many people and create a home. Now, there are failure in project may happen result of poor project execution, a number of common issues arise, cost overrun, poor communication, poor planning, change design, so forth and so on. So now there is something called smart contract, wherein you attach money to the bank that, and then you hardwire it and put it on a blockchain. So nothing will change once you get the agreement. Then as he finish certain task, somebody would trigger it. Somebody may say that yes, this is done. Automatically money is transferred to his. And then, so all those things can be done, the technology, and now this is one of the very, very difficult things happen. I have been advisor to the war room at Maharashtra for 2 years. There I saw that some came intern, people like you, young people, IIT, IIM and some engineering people. They are taking charge of a project. One guy was handling Mumbai Nagpur Samruddhi Mahamarg. One guy was handling Metro 3. One guy was handling 4. And what is their job? Their job is not only to collect information, but they have to also streamline that, okay, who is loan for Metro 4? Is Japan, SoftBank, IMF, who is giving loan, and written up all those things. Because construction industry is really complicated and it requires cash flow. Without that, it won't work. Cyber security, taking care of some issues that I have raised up, that configuration, wrong data supply and all those things. Generative design, this all your tool. So blockchain, for digital building assets, there can be a record of ownership for BEAM to protect IP among collaborating firms. For physical assets such as property or building products, a transparent record of ownership can be created. One example is the creation of material and product passports with product and provenance related information for record keeping throughout the supply chain. Everything can be automated. A material passport can be used to trace the carbon footprint of product in a building as well. Not only the inventory of product, but otherwise other many things can attach with. Other building owners could make their carbon footprint transparent on a public blockchain to benchmark their carbon performance. Asset can be further securitized and traded even while used in a building. For example, one could trade the ownership right, the steel beams or steel bar found within a building which appreciate a value over time, like gold. These rights can then be sold to dismantling or recycling companies at the end of life of the building. Then they can use or whatever they want. Material passport on blockchain can also be used for quality assurance in global construction project or to enable the reuse of material at a later stage of a building towards a circular. I mean, sustainability has to be looked at with this kind of. Currently, there is a big discussion going on that in Paris there is an Olympic game happening. Now, creating Olympic village, an iconic Olympic village with all those facilities. But what after the big lots of investment? So what they have done, they have auctioned all those because they are creating Olympic village in such a manner that it will serve as a studio apartment. So after the game is over, transfer to the people who are currently buying it, and later on they can say that okay, this 100-meter gold medalist in my apartment has this kind of value. So this is a good planning. Now they are sensitized about that. Otherwise, to create something and cannot provide prefabricated and dismantling kind of houses to Olympic athletes. I mean, you may say that okay, we can create and fabricate and use. So you are going to create something, lots of carbon footprint, and if some just a monument, ghost village kind of thing later on, it's of no use. So this kind of things could be important. Role-based access control. Strict role-based access control keeps your design and data secure at all times. Every designer, engineer, contractor or supplier involved in the product design lifecycle is given specific permission and rights. So this instant deprovisioning means when a contract is complete, or an engineer leaves the company or change roles, can immediately revoke their access to. So all those things are coming up with the technology. Traditional file-based CAD and BIM files are subject to unauthorized duplication, data breaches or accidents. This is really so customization to adapt all gender, age, occupational needs, architecture which is fluid, defined logic, developing new language of design, and automation, precision, prefabrication. I think, yeah, this is another important thing. Now we are talking about energy mix. When we talk about sustainability, try to prove that even to find your carbon footprint calculator, they ask you the question that what is your home size? How many people, how do you travel to your workplace or your education? How many cars you have, how many schools, how many bicycles you have, what kind of, how many times you go out, how much food waste, etc. And you give proper information, and then what it would say at the end. If everybody is like you, then they require 4.5 times Earth than what the Earth is. Get this. I mean, this is how carbon footprint calculator, the idea. Now our job is, there is only one Earth. You can see that Mars and all those things. Otherwise, it's only one Earth. That we have to save for our successors. And for that, now all those, Kyoto Protocol and COP, all those things happening for climate change control and temperature rise, global warming control. Now they are pledging, say like Saudi Arabia says that by end of 2030, we want to have 50% of our electricity not coming from fossil, like oil and gas. It has to come from solar, wind, renewables. So nuclear energy is the clean energy. There are lots of debate. Like aircraft. I mean, aircraft, the accident, chances of surviving are. But then if you look at amount of distance traveled, number of people traveled, all the statistical analysis, you find out that that is the safest mode of transport. Can you imagine going to London by car? So you have to have a different perspective. I am not advocating nuclear energy. There are dangers, but those dangers can be researched and taken care of. Then this is coming up as a clean energy. We have seen that those warcraft, airplane carriers are moving in the sea. They are with a small nuclear reactor. It cannot run on diesel or petrol. They require huge amount of power. So now people are moving to, say, a micro nuclear reactor. That's another industry which is coming up. Only thing is, nobody should throw the nuclear waste after them or producing. Safety is also very paramount. Because safety, make mistake, there is dangerous. You have seen, sorry, Chair, you have seen. So solar, distributed wind, energy usage by using natural air cooling, water cooling, design, material, IoT based climate control, natural light, reflector, lighting system, all those things I am sure you guys are taught about. And this app came yesterday, day before. The world first binding law on AI to risk, create opportunity and combat discrimination, transparency. Unacceptable AI practice banned in Europe. The rights of workers and citizens will be like untargeted scraping of facial image, database, categorization system based on sensitive biometric scoring, motion recognition in workplace, all those things. High risk AI systems are defined as infrastructure, education, employment, law enforcement, migration, and face the most stringent requirement. They must be transparent, and ensure rights. So this is going to be now de facto global standard for trustworthy AI. and the government job is to set up regulatory sandbox and real world testing, because you want to check whether your program or your software is complying to that or not. Test it everybody, whether the code is sharp or not. You cannot cut your hand. Check that. You have to have some test beds that government has to set up. So I think let's now jump to the conclusion. So AI in AutoCAD aims to streamline workflows, reduce errors, and enhance creativity, solving issues of interoperability of proprietary data formats, advances in low-cost laser sensors, cheaper robotic arms, keepers, open source software for navigating computer possible to automate and analyze more construction. By leveraging the power of AI, we can create buildings that are more efficient, sustainable, and user-friendly than ever before. Higher productivity and better safety can be achieved, and it is all about improvement and satisfaction, not your profit. AI can be used as labor-saving tool at the pace of production. AI excels at the task like assembling technical details and plan. The need for the entry-level designers who typically focus on those. However, AI can't yet define the constraints that come with a building, such as program size, audience, or geographic consent context. These parameters come from interactions with client, also can't be outsourced. Despite a potential disruption, AI can't completely create and problems or capability for now. Image creation AI can only re-emphasize what it has already seen. So if the internet's bank of imagery is culturally or regionally biased, then the result will be similarly biased. AI is best used in tandem with human architects, as it can augment their skill, help make better decisions faster by considering data that is too complex or time consuming for human to analyze on their own. While AI can generate what appears to be the final product, it lacks the understanding of real world constraints, non-linear create, and define these professions. Rather than fearing this inevitable change, professionals must adapt their existing state with AI, ultimately paving the way for a new era of innovation architecture. Thank you for it. So I think enough for the day. I have gone little extra, or now some question you really want to ask, or you want to.
Good evening, sir. I'm Abhishek. Both in this field of AI and machine. Expect a trend where more people will be flocking of computers. So, is it a good idea for them professionally to move into this field? Because we have limited capacity, have a limited wide quality education. More people in this field have. Is it a good idea for them for the field?
Okay. So actually, the other way around. ChatGPT, and there is a product called now Copilot is not affecting you, affecting computer, because computer people, what they can do, they can write a software. However, now you ask the ChatGPT, I want to write a program for this problem in this programming language, and I'm trying to answer your question directly, that you are worrying about your thing, but there are more worries in other things. So probably now it is coming up in such a, see, what is how a team or how the programming is done. there is a manager who gives a task to coder. Coder does the code back to him, it provides suggestion. Call it as a navigator and worker. Now that model, we are now removing worker out of that, because ChatGPT is doing that job. It is now eating up computer programming jobs very high. However, so now where are the job left for them? So still, as the technology is progressing, everybody want the technology seamlessly, like a cell phone. I mean, we don't know what is inside cell phone. Either all kids, but they use it better than my daughter uses it better than, and her son could use it better than her. So that. So idea is how technology. So all boils down to how we can conveniently present it to the client. Who are client? We are the client. What is our requirement? Earlier, people were inventing something and pushing on to the people. Like it, it's becoming success. If you don't like it, it's a failure. Now the world has changed. Now the customer is telling that I want this. Can you give? So get technology to give that. Who are still the people with the knowledge. How can we puff up the right answer from ChatGPT? We call it as a prompt engineer or prompting. What should I ask so that I hit bullseye immediately? Rather than doing n number of trial and error, can I do it in single shot or maybe in shot? There are many things. As I said in my, I have not directly said, but probably I have said that there is something called, now what is AI actually? AI was all about expert system. It was doing some repetitive task very fast. What the computing is all about. So in 1998 or 2000, IBM Deep Blue machine has defeated Gary Kasparov, chess, grandmaster. So people thought that now computer can. However, the same computer, if you that same computer to play tic-tac-toe, it fails. Because it's very good only in chess. Call it as an expert system. In a particular area, it is very good. Now, if we compare this to develop that machine, IBM has invested billions of dollars. Fine. For that, you need to put money. Now, second thing, when Gary Kasparov and this computer were playing the game, at that time, computer was using electricity worth of $10,000. Gary Kasparov just 2 cups of coffee. Now, who is good? One or computer? So, when we talk about AI, we have become very good in specialized AI. However, general AI, 5-year-old kid can defeat any AI program. Okay.
Thank you, Abhishek. Thank you so much, sir. So, do we have any more questions?
Good evening, sir. Myself, Surya. As you said, like in future generation, if there is more increase in this AI technology, obviously there will be a need for prompt engineers, because without proper prompt engineering, so we can't use the AI efficiently. So my question is, there will be different courses around the world, like CS, mechanical, and like design courses like architecture and planning. So for better usage and efficient usage of AI, in my opinion, like there should be a proper knowledge of the course. For suppose a person who is pursuing architecture, and if he wants to use AI programs for his job field or anything, uh, so like a prompt engineer who is supposed to be a CS student or some IT student, like he can't have that much knowledge regarding the design
No.
and
So I disagree. Prompt engineer that require a special skill set. Like how do you talk to other person so that you get what you want? Prompt engineering is about that. Require basics. For example, I taught at LSN Lal Bahadur Shastri IS where they trained atmosphere. So I went there to teach blockchain technology. Now I get into the hall, I found that there are half of the class very old people, half of the class, I mean 30% very young and 20% me. I asked what is the audience characteristic. I realized that those old people are phase 3 officers. That means after 50 years as IS officers, they are getting a refresher course and they are getting into class. And then there are phase 2. That means they have become collector, this and that. They are going to the next level of secretary over there. Then the freshman. Now the question is, how do I teach blockchain technology? Shall I teach them smart contract programming? Shall I teach them cryptocurrencies? How? Eventually, after 2 hours interaction, they are very happy because they know that what they wanted is now known to them. Because what they wanted is that tomorrow the big four, that is KPMG and Ernst & Young and PricewaterhouseCoopers, and come to them, they cannot fool them about something. So it's like only that much which is sufficient to at least gauge that whether this is correct or not. And as a result, the prompt engineering is not a rocket science. Number one. Number two, now in the changing era, because effort of computer engineer is to make more and more user-friendly systems, and now their job is to make AI explainable. Because user is asking question, how did you arrive onto this decision? In fact, currently you are not noticing it, but the Medicare AI, where the robotic arm take decision and cut the vein of a cardiac patient, cut the wrong vein. Generally the operations are done along with the human doctor and the robotic arm. However, at the critical moment, they have to take decision based on the whatever image they can see, and have to take decision when to cut. So doctor would say that the AI assistant that first give based on your judgment have the potential. Now he came up with the, so at base now doctor has to understand that this guy has came up with the 3 vein potential candidate, and doctor does also know that out of this 2 could be fine, but 1 could be very dangerous. Now he has to own experience and judgment to figure out, or rather he could ask some more question to AI assistant that how can you explain me, or he can use his experience. Fine. Like other day I was in Chennai, and Chennai I face a great difficulty communicating with the driver. Luckily here Johnson is very smart, and he picked up me from the airport very nicely. Chennai, that guy doesn't understand, that guy doesn't understand, not discreet, but happens. Now I said that you follow Google Maps, so that I have to go to IIT Madras guest house airport. So he took some detour. I said, why are you doing that? He said that no, my phone is giving that direction. And eventually we get to the dead end. It was not dead end, but the road was picked up, and it was allowing the auto rickshaw to go, but the car can't go without getting crashed. But that was driver. He was trying to get in the car, but then he was stopped by the people, because they know that this is not your car. That's why you are trying to take risk. Now what happened? People did not know this immediate interruption. People make decision based on the lots of data inputs. That data inputs are not coming is the last good decision. Now the last good decision says that there is a road, and that road has become dead end. Now we have to take a judgment, because if you know alternate road, then instead of following that road we should have gone to the other road. However, it shows that similar time, 2 minutes here and there, but we have our own judgment. Now the trick is how we can make the things explainable, more user friendly. And let me tell you, today big tech companies are even not hiring graduates. They hire a people who have talent, and they are hiring people, a 12 pass student, but they have They are very good in say gaming, game playing. Then they know exactly that this guy has a specific set which could be very very useful interpreting certain thing and presenting certain things from a certain manner. So life is not really bad. Good. You have to don't get frustrated. You are in very special discipline, wherein you are getting a very special knowledge. Use this knowledge. Don't envy others. Others are going to get into a pit more quickly than you. So go on.
Sir, and also like engineering is not a rocket science and all. So, will there be any chance in future that a person who is an architect by profession, can he
Yes.
do a specialization in prompt engineering and also a
So
planner?
see, you have to do prompt engineering while you have to work with chatbot. Okay, I need a design of certain, okay, eco-friendly. So you are specialist of prompt engineering in a special area, and that computer science guy cannot beat you. Have all basic knowledge. That like if I give a quiz paper of medical entrance exam to architect people, what would happen? Like that.
Thank you so much. So do we have more questions?
Yeah.
This can planning. Yes,
So look at the, I have I think partly answered that. If we look at the human societies, how they have evolved, then look back, then you see that what structures have come up earlier. They were fortification. Okay? What is fortification? Castles and forts, which were protecting as well as were allowing them to live. And then as we move and as newer technology came, as season change, as our so where they were building fort, they were building fort for some reason on the hilltop. They were building fort for some reason at the seashore, but with the again some cliff. They were building fort at the bank of river. Like if you see Windsor Castle, then it is at the bank of river. But if you look at all fort in Maharashtra, they will, they are at the specific place. And then there were forts which are iconic forts, where, a particular king would like to make a statement. So, we have gone through all those transformation based on necessity to improving comfort to make it a style statement. Now with the changing world, what we are going to look at, we are going to look at now 17 sustainable development goal. What is our first goal? Our first goal is to get a food security, the first goal. We are seeing that now nobody wants to milk a cow, but everybody needs a milk. How to solve that problem? So there are many such problems. Everybody want basmati rice. Nobody want to go to farm and doing themselves. So the dynamics are getting changed. And then if you look at these people living in Gaza or in Ukraine, they have all together surviving is their current priority. So based on all this, so there is that's why I am telling you that cultural bias, geographical bias, situational bias, all those things are driving the world in the different place. Why our country now going on very high pace with improving the infrastructure, specifically road infrastructure, rail infrastructure. Why they did not do earlier? Because we did not have money. How did we get money? Through digitalization. Now government is putting a tax everywhere and they collect it. So they have money. And now this money is spent on societal services. And as a result, improvement. I think this answer your question.
more question.
Yeah.
Like
That I really don't know. Because I know certain tools, but you may be knowing even more tools. So that's where again you ask Google Gemini, what are the latest AI tools? Get the answer. Okay, so machine learning, let me tell you what is machine. So what is AI? AI, I said that it is about narrowly creating intelligence in particular profession. Okay, it is expert system. How can you mimic the expert? For example, you want to do a remote medical healthcare because doctors are not available to go to the rural area. You can use AI for that. You can use lots of patient data. How have you visited doctor after COVID? You haven't visited doctor, I know that. But before COVID, you may be visiting doctors very frequently. When you go to doctor, just try to recall the interaction. I mean, realize that doctor is like God because doctor asks you two questions and then he gives you one of the three medicine. One is a white, one is pink, and one is yellow, and it works. Basically, 95% of time that medicine is not working. It's your biological system which itself heals you within 3. But if you are meeting with accident, then it's altogether a different ball game. So, what is AI system? AI system for medical healthcare is like doctor asks a question. So, like 10 questions, it's asked 10 standard questions to answer those questions, and then it look at that if this answer of this question was like that with the real doctor, what doctor has suggested. Looks up the database, it matches the patterns, and provides you the medicine. Now, what is machine learning? So, this is AI. Now, what is machine learning? When you start this system, you have 10 patient database. Now, 10 patient database to serve billion of people is really tricky. But if you have billion people database, a billion case investigated by doctor, and their solution is stored somewhere, then when you come up with any symptoms, it picks the nearest one and give you the accurate medicine. So that is machine learning. You start with the 10 people, 11 guy come the medicine, and then you backtrack whether that guy cured, you label it yes. It is not cured, you remove it. So you have now growing data set which is giving you to more and more accuracy. So that is machine learning. So machine, is trained on certain, and then going one step further. Machine is learning through data set, is get trained, and then now the case is coming up unknown to the machine. But based on the experience it gained, try to classify whether this is a typhoid patient, whether this is a COVID patient, whether this is a asthma patient or what. So that's what the machine learning is.
I believe that clears all our doubts regarding machine learning. So do we have any other questions?
So in case of the builders and architects, they are operating silos, and that is where we are trying to look at say technology like blockchain and machine learning to take your knowledge. Actually, frankly speaking, I have seen my sister-in-law has worked in Qatar for 10 years. Now she has started her own architect firm. I have observed her how she is working. Then I found that not using her knowledge, her experience she used, but most of the time she is dependent on internet, Revit, not Revit, AutoCAD. And another thing I have observed, which is again take it easy. Whatever she could not be able to do in life, is making her client do. Like choosing a special stone dining table, a special wood for this depends on how wealthy the clients are. Hence, he's enjoying the life. Okay. So now what I am seeing that has the basic knowledge about the field. In spite of that, and experience also, is independent on software like AutoCAD. Only problem I have seen in India is because you are a student, you might get a license AutoCAD free to Autodesk. getting it or not? Yes. But the moment you get out of this, you are not going to pay money to the Autodesk. Look for crack version, pirated version, problem. Because in that case, you are getting into a whole lot of trouble because crack version will bring virus, so many things. Even Autodesk would give you crack version, wherein then collect all data where you are using, what you are using, and they have no interest, but they have put AI agent. Whether your design is hatke, good or not. If yes, then they start scoring you, how good you are. Like it has been, believed that Google and GitHub, where they were providing a free infrastructure, $300 credit to programmers, so that they can host their application on cloud. So they were providing $300 worth of credit, and those guys were using. But then that program is not about spending money; it's about the right talent. To the extent that they could able to pick up the right startup where somebody is driving that startup very quick and they are using infrastructure, they could able to buy them at very lower cost. Of course, this is not ethical, but that's what the AI is about. So try to use something free, nothing is coming free. If you try to use cloud subscription, if you try to use SaaS subscription, you are, because on the name of, we are checking whether you have subscription or not. We are also looking at what designs you are creating, and thereby they are creating their corpus or data set bigger and bigger. And probably now the dimension which is coming up is for you guys, instead of using one size fits all, rather you have to customize your AutoCAD. You are designing a building for Keralian people. They have a very different cultural issue. You have to design like that. You are developing for Bombay guy. So there the space is the problem. You have to fit everything into a small space. You guys are trying to use software which is good for Western world, cannot be good for Indian context. So converging and training, in fact, those tools to your requirement is very important task that you guys have to do. That is where your education here at the one of the very nice school, I call it as a school, and the name is also like that. But at IIT, when we say that School of Engineering, some people are very arrogant. They say, no, we are College of Engineering. Because if you are university, they are named like that. Okay, so you guys have to use your experience, knowledge, this basic knowledge, and apply it to context specific thing, rather than blindly following. This guy has developed a home in London like this. This guy has developed a home in Nordic country like this. For example, I had been to Norway. At 7:30, till there is light, and we cannot sleep because there is a sunlight. And then suddenly I waited, it became dark, I slept. Within 3 hours, sun is up. So they are living in very different, so that is a summer. And when you go to winter, it is completely other thing. So now their requirement is very different. Now if you try to copy that design and put it to somebody in Vijayawada, it doesn't work. Similarly, you try to get a mountain home and give it to the beach guy, won't work. It's like a fisherman is trying to build a house, the boat on top of mountain. You can still make a style statement, of no use to it. Okay, so thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for such insightful discussion on the topic of AI. So as we come to an end of today's discussion, before we wrap it up, I would like to invite Assistant Professor Mr. Rajiv R. in order to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Ankita. Thank you very much. It was a good discussion that we had. So first and foremost, I think extend this my heartfelt thanks to Professor Dr. Dhiren Patel for joining us at SPA Vijayawada, for delivering this invited talk on role of AI and computing to architects and build businesses. Thank you very much, sir. I know that it was a long journey that you had today, but today itself we scheduled this lecture, and we're so thankful that you took that time today itself to have this discussion with us. So in this today's discussion, sir did discuss on how it can help us enhance the creativity and the pathways to next practices, build sustainability at the unit level as well as at the urban build scale. So there was a lot of discussion on planning. So I'm happy that sir you brought in the planning angle also in today's discussion. And then we did have discussions on sustainable mobility, how quality of life in cities and services, how AI can be a tool in helping us improve these. So thank you very much, sir, for enlightening us with these aspects. But I know that there are a lot of questions which students who have assembled today, students who were not able to be part of today's session. So I'm hopeful that we can reach out back to you to clarify more concerns which we have or doubts we have on AI. Also, we would like to thank the director, the chief patron of this event, Professor Dr. Ramesh Srikonta, sir. Sir couldn't join us today because he's on an official visit, but for taking this initiative to bring Dhiren Patel, sir, to SPA Vijayawada to have this session. And also we thank both the HODs, Dr. Srinivas and Dr. Prashant, for taking the initiative to have this session. We thank the Design and Innovation Center of SPA Vijayawada who has organized this session on this bringing in role AI and computing in architecture and build business as a field. And to all the faculty who have assembled here, who were part of the session. And lastly, the students who found their time after their full 5-day schedule of the entire weekend post Inyan that we had and the reviews that you had. You took out your time to join us here, so thank you very much. So, and lastly, to the IT team for extending your support as always. Thank you very much. Thank you guys. Have a pleasant evening. Thank you.